We are at our most powerful the moment we no longer need to be powerful. You have forgotten the one who doesn't care about ownership, who doesn't try to turn a profit from every human exchange.
Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better.
The worst thing you can do if you miss or need someone is let them know it. Every violation of truth is not only a sort of suicide in the liar, but is a stab at the health of human society. It used to be about trying to do something. Now it's about trying to be someone. But please remember, this is only a work of fiction. The truth, as always, will be far stranger. The question is not how to get cured, but how to live.
We are products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners of it.
I am like any other man. All I do is supply a demand.
Breathing control gives man strength, vitality, inspiration, and magic powers.
It is said that your life flashes before your eyes just before you die. That is true. Called life. When the actions becomes frequent than the words, success becomes heavier than the dreams. Do more, say less.
An education is not so much about making a living as making a person.
Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Every act of goodness is born from our desire to be happy. I had to philosophize. Otherwise, I could not live in this world.
You are a wonderful creation. You know more than you think you know, just as you know less than you want to know. In this lifetime we meet and part like passing clouds. Sometimes you need a little crisis to get your adrenaline flowing and help you realize your potential. It's a sad day when you find out that it's not accident or time or fortune, but just yourself that kept things from you. Reputation is what other people know about you. Honor is what you know about yourself.
In making tactical dispositions, the highest pitch you can attain is to conceal them.
Knowledge, like air, is vital to life. Like air, no one should be denied it. If you don't give up on something you truly believe in, you will find a way.
Hats have power. Hats can change you into someone else.
Do not look for happiness outside yourself. The awakened seek happiness inside. Today I bent the truth to be kind, and I have no regret, for I am far surer of what is kind than I am of what is true.
To become a lifelong reader, one has to do a lot of varied and interesting reading.
Sometimes letting go is simply changing the labels you place on an event. Looking at the same event with fresh eyes. The only true borders lie between day and night, between life and death, between hope and loss. Man keeps looking for a truth that fits his reality. Given our reality, the truth doesn't fit. Before you can successfully make friends with others, first you have to become your own friend.
Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great.
You must find the place inside yourself where nothing is impossible. Never let hard lessons harden your heart. The hard lessons of life are meant to make you better, not bitter. If you wish to make Pythocles rich, do not add to his store of money, but subtract from his desires. People are not lazy, they simply have impotent goals, that is, goals that do not inspire them. Time doesn't heal emotional pain. You need to learn how to let go. Sometimes you need to burn bridges to stop yourself from crossing them again.
Everybody stay positive, no matter how negative life gets.
Act the way you'd like to be, and soon you'll be the way you'd like to act.
In order to form an immaculate member of a flock of sheep, one must, above all, be a sheep. A good completion takes a long time. A bad completion cannot be changed later.
The torch of doubt and chaos. This is what the sage steers by. I believe that just because something didn't go the way you planned it once, it's no reason not to try again. The beautiful journey of today can only begin when we learn to let go of yesterday. Dream no small dreams, for they have no power to move the hearts of men.
If you believe you can, you might. If you know you can, you will.
For a day, just for one day, talk about that which disturbs no one, and bring some peace into your beautiful eyes. It takes no more time to see the good side of life than to see the bad. Few among men are they who cross to the further shore. The others merely run up and down the bank on this side. Never compromise truth for the sake of getting along with people who can only get along when we agree. You must have someone in your circle who you can bounce off your ideas without being dissuaded. True success cannot be achieved until you have experienced failure. There was another life that I might have had, but I am having this one. Accept what is, let go of what was, have faith in what will be.
I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. What is of supreme importance in war is to attack the enemy's strategy.
Something deep inside calls us to adventure and to brave the unknown. There is a bit of wilderness within all of us. The right thing and the easy thing are never the same. If you feel obsessed to prove something to the world, then you need world attention to be able to prove it.
I'd rather be an optimist and a fool than a pessimist and right.
Dripping water hollows out stone, not through force but through persistence. In order that all men may be taught to speak truth, it is necessary that all likewise should learn to hear it. I knew who I was this morning, but I've changed a few times since then. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible.
Therefore the good fighter will be terrible in his onset and prompt in his decision.
If it didn't come with being humiliated, it wouldn't be my life at all.
Maneuvering with an army is advantageous. With an undisciplined multitude, most dangerous. Life would be unbearably dull if we had answers to all our questions.
Be the kind of person who catches the shit before it hits the fan, not the one who scrapes it off afterwards. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Treachery and violence are spears pointed at both ends. They wound those who resort to them worse than their enemies. Always have a willing hand to help someone. You might be the only one that does. Life belongs to the living, and he who lives must be prepared for changes.
Life is pain. Anyone who says otherwise is selling something.
The summit of happiness is reached when a person is ready to be what he is.
There's no point having wishes if you don't at least try to do them.
Never to suffer would never to have been blessed. For the world is in a bad state, but everything will become still worse unless each of us does his best. Truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance. The cause of most of man's unhappiness is sacrificing what he wants most for what he wants now.
Everything has to be all right. Maybe not today, but eventually.
Life is not complex. We are complex. Life is simple, and the simple thing is the right thing.
To know that we know what we know, and that we do not know what we do not know, that is true knowledge.
Swirl into joy today by sharing your caring with the world. Be a pillar of positivity.
The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. The truth doesn't mind being told every once in a while. Respect yourself, and others will respect you.
It is not a daily increase, but a daily decrease. Hack away at the inessentials.
I cannot trust a man to control others who cannot control himself. If you are strong, appear weak, but if you are weak, appear strong.
I am the truth, since I am part of what is real, but neither more nor less than those around me.
Forget what hurts you, but never forget what it taught you.
Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do.
It does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you do not stop.
The simple things are also the most extraordinary things, and only the wise can see them. My life will be the best illustration of all my work. We all have stories we tell ourselves, until we believe them to be true.
I'm not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. The worst part of being okay is that okay is far from happy.
Perception is reality to the one in the experience.
To be alone is to be different. To be different is to be alone.
Life has more imagination than we carry in our dreams. It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them. Our greatest fear should not be of failure, but of succeeding at things in life that don't really matter.
Manifest plainness, embrace simplicity, choose selfishness, have few desires.
Because this is the way things are meant to be.
We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown. When you're the most happening person at the party, it's time to leave. You can jail a revolutionary, but you can't jail the revolution.
We are here to be family to one another, to exist for the sake of others, even as others exist for our sake.
Strange what being forced to slow down could do to a person. Only dead fish go with the flow.
Free your mind from routine, keep your brain somewhere else. You can't find someone who doesn't want to be found. Death is the easy part. The hard part is living and knowing you could be so much more than you're willing to be. The true hypocrite is the one who ceases to perceive his deception, the one who lies with sincerity. Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow. You are confined only by the walls you build yourself. And all the lives we ever lived, and all the lives to be, are full of trees and changing leaves.
I very rarely think in words at all. A thought comes, and I may try to express it in words afterwards.
Whoever said that the past isn't dead had it backward. It's the future that's already dead, already played out.
Once friends as batchmates, but now different batches divide us.
Beauty exists not in what is seen and remembered, but in what is felt and never forgotten. Being grateful does not mean that everything is necessarily good. It just means that you can accept it as a gift. Don't ever trust men with good intentions. They'll always disappoint you. Leo, you have two choices: to conquer your fear or to let your fear conquer you.
Correct your mistake as soon as you have found it.
If you care about someone enough, you'll always be there for them, no matter what.
Everything that is done in this world is done by hope. You cannot open a book without learning something. Just let it be. If it's meant to be, it will happen. The more powerful the class, the more it claims not to exist.
The world needs your unique path. Chart it fearlessly. It is life, I think, to watch the water. A man can learn so many things. Any war that requires the suspension of reason as a necessity for support is a bad war. It's a lack of clarity that creates chaos and frustration. Those emotions are poison to any living goal. I only seem negative to the fortunate. That's because I show the less fortunate that they aren't less fortunate after all. The truth is, everyone is going to hurt you. You just gotta find the one worth suffering for. If we try to measure, now we find it's always gone, has become part of the past.
Just because it's fiction doesn't mean it's any less true.
Even a blind man knows when the sun is shining. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. I wake up and grind like the whole world owes me money. I'm taking that money like I'm owed. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A. Life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man could invent.
No one else has ever opened doors for me. I opened them myself.
Unless you realize your true self as the divine, your life is meaningless. A point of view can be a dangerous luxury when substituted for insight and understanding.
Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference.
At times it can feel like the loneliest place on earth because it's just us, alone with our unanswered prayers. It takes a huge effort to free yourself from memory. We can know only that we know nothing, and that is the highest degree of human wisdom.
Stop blaming outside circumstances for your inside chaos.
If you can't do anything about it, laugh like hell.
Face your life, its pain, its pleasure. Leave no path untaken. Everyone's greatest fantasy is to walk away from the life you lead.
The soul should always stand ajar, ready to welcome the ecstatic experience.
There is no saint without a past, no sinner without a future. But every difference of opinion is not a difference of principle.
There is nothing in this world so hard to get at as truth, and there is nothing in this world but truth that I care for. Be proud. You survived the days you thought you couldn't. Myth is much more important and true than history. History is just journalism, and you know how reliable that is.
Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. In my deepest wound, I saw your glory, and it dazzled me.
Win in your mind, and you will win in your reality.
Every ounce of my cynicism is supported by historical precedent. In order to change the world, you have to get your head together first.
Feel free to argue with the man with a gun. Only make sure there are no bullets in it.
One mistake does not have to rule a person's entire life. Take care of your body. Remember, health is another form of wealth. Honest is how I want to look. The truth doesn't glitter and shine.
Seeking what is true is not seeking what is desirable. I just want to do something that matters, or be something that matters. I just want to matter. Use the wings of the flying universe. Dream with open eyes. See in darkness. But I do know which is the least popular. The truth. It's not always that we need to do more, but rather that we need to focus on less. You can't go back and make a new start, but you can start right now and make a brand new ending. Learn from your past, use the possibilities of the present moment, and let the future open the doors of opportunity. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions.
We have not been rewarded to evolve over our failures, but punished never to make mistakes again.
What is essential in war is victory, not prolonged operations.
What you perceive as a failure today may actually be a crucial step towards the success you seek. Never give up. A gentleman is someone who does not what he wants to do, but what he should do. When something ought to be true, then it proves to be a very powerful truth.
Most of what I say is complete truth. My edit button is broken. Life is an experiment in which you may fail or succeed. Explore more. Expect least.
Do your best and trust the process. We beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past.
Some things you hear with your ears, others you hear with your heart.
Denying yourself a life of personal freedom is denying yourself of a life worth living. The value of time becomes evident when it's gone. Use it wisely. Impossible things are really rough to do, you know. You have to fight through some bad days to learn the best days of your life.
Whatever you believe with feeling becomes your reality.
Feeling beautiful has nothing to do with what you look like. Promise. I was 40 years old when I stood up for myself for the first time. I should have stood up earlier.
Don't be afraid of failure. This is the way to succeed. It's important in life. If you don't give a shit, it can help you a lot. People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day.
Time deals gently only with those who take it gently. The truth may not set you free, but used carefully, it can confuse the hell out of your enemies. Focus your heart, mind, and soul on joy, and you'll find ultimate success and fulfillment. Even though our time in this life is temporary, if we live well enough, our legacy will last. Embrace what life gives you, for even the unexpected can hold hidden blessings and opportunities.
All men can see these tactics whereby I conquer, but what none can see is the strategy out of which victory is evolved. I wouldn't have missed a single minute of it, not for the whole world.
Stay calm in times of trouble, and all the turbulence around you will obey you.
I'd rather hear an ugly truth rather than an obscure lie.
Instead of complaining about the problem and blaming others, start finding the solution.
Generally in war, the best policy is to take a state intact. To ruin it is inferior to this. Don't be afraid of failure. This is the way to succeed. When deeds and words are in accord, the whole world is transformed.
Money gives you freedom. Freedom gives you happiness. For the first time in a long time, I want more than I have. My happiness is not the means to any end. It is the end. It is its own goal. It is its own purpose. We choose our joys and sorrows long before we experience them. There can be glory in failure and despair in success.
Like the sun and moon, they end but to begin anew. Like the 4 seasons, they pass away to return once more.
When you have eliminated all which is impossible, then whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. We are supposed to call poison medicine, and we wonder why we're always sick. Time's stride so uneven, some days endless, and others like the blink of an eye. Integrity is a powerful force, keeping you alive to others long after you've left their presence.
But the truth doesn't need to be known or believed to be true. Sometimes one pays most for the things one gets for nothing. Health is hearty, health is harmony, health is happiness. If you correct your mind, the rest of your life will fall into place. Death is unstoppable. One must face it as a fact of life.
Man is always prey to his truths. Once he has admitted them, he cannot free himself from them.
The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. Stay calm. You've been through this before. You'll get through it again.
The desire to die was my one and only concern. To it I have sacrificed everything, even death. Don't be afraid to be afraid. Have fear, and then conquer the shit out of it. Our power lies in our small daily choices, one after another. Create eternal ripples of a life well lived.
Life is a mystery to be lived, not a problem to be solved.
People who know little are usually great talkers, while men who know much say little. Do the best you can with what you can, while you can, and success is inevitable. It is evident as a matter of logic that since they disagree, not more than one of them can be true. I think that if the world were a bit more like Comic-Con, it would be a better place. I don't want to be a tree. I want to be its meaning. I think the highest and lowest points are the important ones. Anything else is just in between.
Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game.
One must reach out and try to grasp this astonishing finesse, that the value of life cannot be estimated. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up.
He who doesn't understand history is doomed to repeat it.
Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. Sometimes you have to take 2 steps back to take 10 forward.
Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year.
He who would learn to fly one day must first learn to walk and run and climb and dance. One cannot fly into flying.
If ignorant both of your enemy and yourself, you are certain to be in peril.
Luck is a matter of preparation, meeting opportunity. When men are pure, laws are useless. When men are corrupt, laws are broken. Commitment can open the invisible doors of success. People are almost always better than their neighbors think they are. I prefer you to make mistakes in kindness than work miracles in unkindness. Es ist nicht genug zu wissen, man muss auch anwenden. Es ist nicht genug zu wollen, man muss auch tun. The goal is timeless. Chase the moment and you lose. He who knows that enough is enough will always have enough. However beautiful the strategy, you should occasionally look at the results. Optimists move through life with a happy exterior. What happens on the inside shows up on the outside.
Don't set your goals by what other people deem important.
We are saved by faith alone, but the faith that saves is never alone. You cannot control the behavior of others, but you can always choose how you respond to it. In life, you always see the darkest days before the sunshine. It is a joy to be hidden and disaster not to be found. The road to enlightenment is long and difficult, and you should try not to forget snacks and magazines.
Therefore, just as water retains no constant shape, So in warfare, there are no constant conditions.
In the long run, the sharpest weapon of all is a kind and gentle spirit. Whatever happens to your body, your soul will survive, untouched.
Genius is measured not by static volume, but by kinetic vision. You are not the opinion of someone who doesn't know you.
The value of a man should be seen in what he gives, and not in what he is able to receive. True potential is realized when we stretch, when we choose to go beyond our present perceived capability. If everyone helps to hold up the sky, then one person does not become tired.
People wealth consists upon their freedom, individual resources, and good social life.